Hey guys, coming at you with another fidget spinner review, and this time the spinners come from a company called Presentski, and they are sold on Amazon by a storefront called WowLink Store, and WowLink Store is the only authorized seller of the Presentski spinners. And if you see other sellers on the same listing, and I'll be listing the links in the description box below, so you can check them out if you want to. If you see other listings on there, especially if you see other sellers who are their profile says just launched, don't buy from them. Presentski offers these through the Prime shipping, or if you spend $25 or more, you get free shipping. So you can order it without being Prime, but if you don't spend at least $25 on a total purchases from Amazon, you'll get charged shipping on top of that. So usually it pays off to go ahead and buy 25 bucks worth of stuff, you know, just to save the $4 or $5 in shipping charges. So let me get on with this. I tried researching the Presentski name because being an American, I immediately assumed anything with the letter ski on the end of it, or the word ski on the end of it, is Russian, like in the Rocky movie. That's the first thing I thought was the Rocky movie where he was fighting the Russian boxer, and the Russian boxer says, like, I must crush you. So, but it turns out, I believe, if I did my Googling right, that Presentski is actually Swedish, and the stores, the manufacturer Presentski may be named after Presentski Hill, a location in Sweden. So, being the uneducated American that I am, as far as geography and world history and political stuff, I don't know where I'm going with this. So, just want to show you these spinners. I mean, my initial reaction is this thing is nice. I mean, I hold it very close so you can hear the sound. It does have a little bit of sound, but then copper does have a sound. All copper spinners tend to have a sound to them. It's not very loud. It's not even louder than the stainless steel one that I was showing you the other day. It is a very incredibly smooth spin, and there's virtually no wobble to it, but it does increase the sound. If you wobble it back and forth, you'll hear the sound increase a little bit. It shouldn't annoy anybody around you. And the weight is nice. It's got an impressive, nice weight feel to it. It's got brass caps, and I want to show you the other one here. So if you don't particularly like that squared off shape or rectangular shape on the outside, this one has the, I guess, kind of a oblong shape to it, which I think it's kind of cool. I'm more of a sorry about that. I'm more of a square shaped kind of guy than a rounded shaped kind of guy. So this is the one I prefer. Just at first glance. Now this one does have a little bit more wobble to it. Let me check the caps, make sure the caps are tight on there. So for whatever reason, design reasons, or maybe they did it on purpose, this one has a bit more wobble to it. Just a little tiny bit, not much. You really got to work at it to make it wobble. And as you can see there, or as you can hear, not much sound to it at all. And you can see the thing is just, it's acted like it's going to spin forever. It's got a nice spin to it. So let's pull the cap off right quick. Caps come off real easy. So if you do get one of these, or get any spinner that has screw-on caps, just put them finger tight. Don't really torque them down, because it'll just make it harder for you to get them off later on. And it looks like this one does have a cap inside there. You can see the little grooves right there to unscrew the cap and get to the bearings inside. And this side looks like it has a bearing shield. So let's plop it over and see if there's... it looks like it's got black ceramic bearings in there. This looks like a 608. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 bearings. 9 black ceramic bearings. They do have a bearing guide in there to keep them separated. So if you're like me, I don't really care for the ones that don't have a guide, because the bearings, if you're clumsy like me, you'll wind up knocking out the bearings. The center part will fall out somehow, or you'll bang on it. That's just my own tendency. And as well, if you don't have a guide in here, even though it will spin longer, spin faster, it will not spin as smoothly. You'll feel more clickiness to it because the bearings have more room to bounce around, and as well you'll have more of a wobble to it, a wobble factor, because there is the bearings have more room to move around as well. So that's what I was trying to say in all that. So yeah, that's very nice, very smooth. So if you're kind of comparing it, I would, let me compare it to a R188 stainless steel bearing, and this is just as smooth as a 10 ball or 8 ball R188 stainless steel bearing. And the reason for that, from what I understand from my research, is that the smaller the ball bearing, the less surface area, so the less friction the bearing causes when it's rolling around in there. So you will get the kind of the equivalent smoothness and spin feel with a R188 as you will, or R188 stainless steel, as you will with a 608 or 609 ceramic or hybrid ceramic. If you put a full ceramic bearing in this thing, it's hard to duplicate that feeling. And it is really truly smooth and silky and buttery. That's the only way I can describe it. It feels so smooth when you put a full ceramic bearing in one. But so far I have not found a R188 full ceramic. The hybrid ceramics are fairly expensive, around $5 or $6. But let me get back to this. I'm kind of going off on a tangent again. Spin that one up, let you see how it looks in the light. And you can see it's got a very nice pattern to it. The strobe effect it has. Now this one, unlike some of them, because the lobes are so big, you can't actually see through this so too well. I mean, you can see through it now. I got my hand behind it, but up here it's hard to see through it. So let's make sure this one's got the hybrid ceramic bearings in it as well. Most likely it does, but just to be sure. And it also has that removable cap. So it's kind of unusual to guide is on, well, maybe they just put the bearing in that direction, so it wouldn't matter. I was about to say it's kind of strange that the guide is on, or the guide is on the same side as the cap, because normally I find that the bearings are showing on the side with the screw cap. But there they are. And for once my camera is in focus. I can't believe that. And the camera, from what I can see from looking at my camera, it does not do this justice. The color, this copper color. If you're a copper fan, this is a beautiful copper spinner. I've talked to people who like copper spinners because they believe that touching copper, holding copper, wearing copper bracelets, copper rings is a health benefit. Don't know myself. I have never worn one long enough to see if there is any health benefits to wearing copper, touching copper, holding copper in your hand for long periods of time. But doesn't hurt to try. So let me put these out of the way. You can see the light, the way the light hits these, it's very hard to keep the color just right on them in camera. In real life, these things are bright, like a shiny piece of copper that's been polished. They look very nice. I wish I could do them justice with the lighting I have, but I can't, so do the best I can. The caps are nice as well. They've got a nice indentation. My thumb and index finger fits in there very nicely. I mean, you spin it and I can just hold it with one finger with no problem. It immediately just kind of settles onto my fingertip. Let me get these out of the way and weigh it up for you, and then we'll do the spin test. These do come with these very nice velvet black pouches, one for each spinner. Each one had its own pouch in the box. So let me set this aside for a second. This may get loud when I set them down because they are metal and hitting that tile, and you can see my fan rotating there above me. It's hot in Texas right now. It's about 91 degrees and 75–80% humidity, and it's not really the heat that gets to you, it's the humidity around here, because your sweat doesn't evaporate. Your clothes get soaked, and then the sweat gets hot, and it's hot against your skin, and you don't have that evaporation effect where in drier areas where the humidity is around 20 to 40%, the sweat evaporates off your skin and cools you off. It doesn't do that in Texas. It's almost like you're swimming in a swamp. You can breathe in and feel the air going into your lungs because the humidity is so thick. But let me get on with this. Show you the weight of this one in ounces. And so it's 305, not too bad. And the other one, try it out. Hey, 305 again. I was expecting this one to be a little heavier since it does look slightly bigger, but they engineered these to be perfectly the same. So, you get that out of the way. And we will go on to the spin test, and this is going to be the tricky part, getting my phone on camera and not having a reflection on the screen. I've been fighting that today, when I was setting this up earlier, to figure out how to get my phone where you can see it very easily, but at the same time I don't have this reflection of the ceiling. You can see my hand. I have a white ceiling, so it's reflecting a lot of the sunlight right now. So I think this is about as good as I can get. So let's do a spin test, and these are both almost identical. They're the same weight, same bearings. They should have almost identical spin times. It's just a matter of how much lubrication is in there from the factory. So let me see if I can't spin these up equally and get the timer started. And these do feel like they're going to have a really nice spin time, just based on the weight and the feel. So one of these may be tougher to spin than the other. So let me give it a go here. I'm going to try that again because I did not hit them equally. The second one here did not get the same amount of effort. There we go. Let's try carefully zooming in just a little bit. And it has a really cool sound effect that you can hear very well. But I like the sound it's making on this tile that I've used for my background. Alrighty, there we go. 8 minutes and 15 seconds for the longest one of the two. This one right here. And this one came in just a few seconds shorter. But it's probably due to the fact that I spun them with unequal effort. And this one spun, actually this one was spun first. And then I spun this one, and then I hit the timer. So this one is actually spinning for a couple more seconds, or I wouldn't say a couple more, a second or two longer than this one when I started the timer. So I would pretty much call them equal. I mean, they're the same weight, they have the same feel, the same bearings. Very nice spinners. So I hope you enjoyed this review. If you get a chance, check out the links below, and I will talk to you later.